Singapore has trimmed its growth forecast for the year. As global headwinds weigh on the economy, GDP is now expected to come in between 0.5 and 1.5%, narrowing from the previous 0.5 to 2.5% range. Well, this comes as the economy grew 0.5% in the second quarter. Still, a technical recession is not expected. Sherry Locke with a report.
The manufacturing downturn continues, with the slump lasting longer than expected. The sector shrank by 7.3% on year, worse than the 5.4% contraction in the previous quarter. Its growth outlook remains weak, especially in the electronics and precision engineering clusters. That's amid a global electronics slowdown and other external risks.
These include more persistent than expected inflation in the advanced economies, which could induce tighter global financial conditions and lead to a larger retraction in global spending, as well as geopolitical tensions among the major global powers.
As the war rages on in Ukraine, the Trade and Industry Ministry says such tensions could disrupt supply chains and dampen consumer and business confidence. These can weigh down on global trade. Still, Singapore's economy is expected to recover modestly in the second half of the year, boosted in part by robust demand for air travel and tourism. The hotel sector, for instance, grew by 13% this quarter, extending the previous quarter's growth of nearly 22%. The tourism recovery is expected to have a spillover effect on sectors like retail trade and food and beverage services. But economists warn that the pickup may be slower than anticipated.
Going forward from here, actually, a lot of the risk is quite well recognized. I do think that the manufacturing electronics probably has seen the worst in the first half of this year. The question, of course, going forward is that whether we'll see a stronger recovery story in the second half, or it's really just a mere stabilization.
Ms. Ling cautions that more headwinds are ahead. These include rising oil and food prices, made worse by disruptive weather patterns like El Nino. Economists say businesses may have to adapt to overcome these challenges.
Given the softer economic growth outlook, businesses should be cautious in hiring, and in that will also translate to perhaps their intentions to increase wages will be more cautious as well.
The Monetary Authority of Singapore says growth and inflation trends are within expectations. It will continue to monitor the situation and will decide if monetary policy adjustments are needed during its October review.